Hello everybody and welcome back to NCAA 2004, and we are here at the end of our season, facing the last game in the face, but we are looking at some bowl rankings here because Maryland, Colorado State, and Southern Miss seem to be the only three teams that weathered the storm and were able to finish perfect on the year to get a shot at the title, leaving Miami, us, and Arkansas on the outside looking in. Miami, which is our opponent today, and just something to note here, we're 5th in the bowl rankings but 6th in the country, and Arkansas is 5th in the country but 6th in the bowl rankings. That's why the polls mean nothing after a certain point in the season. That does not change whether it be the BCS or the college football playoff rankings. Once those are out, the regular media and coaches polls don't matter at all. So, see, it's a Mickey Mouse polling. But either way, we're going to get into this game here with the Miami Hurricanes. I believe this is the first time we're playing Miami in this dynasty, which is very odd considering that we've, our paths have been pretty much on the same trajectory for many years at this point here. Miami has remained as one of the best teams in the game, basically, every single year, because obviously this is a video game and the real life, NCAA violations and all this and that and stuff, aren't real. So Miami's just going to continue to play on the same trajectory that they were, when the game came out. So they're one of the better programs in the game, and they remain that way. So last year they're coming off of a 12-1 season last year, in which they finished 3rd in the country and beat Maryland in whatever bowl game that they played, but they did not win the Big East. Virginia Tech did, who finished 2nd in the country. Of course, after we, did what we did. We had some influence on that after, of course, winning against Nebraska. We opened up the space for them. But that is the kind of season that Miami is carrying into this year, which has not gone, exactly how they planned, but still a great season for them. But let's see if they can cap it off, a little bit better than we can. So a late 3rd down here, and Woods is going to get all the way to the quarterback, Nate Babcock, the junior, and bring him down. And so they're going to have to punt it. And so after the punt here, 1st and 10, Tim Lewis, deep shot downfield along the sidelines, and wide open is Scotty Mitchell behind the defense. 2 guys in pursuit here, but they're not going to catch up to Scotty, and he's going to dive for the end zone grass safely after a humongous pickup through the air. So it's been a little bit stagnant on offense for both teams up to this point here. Miami at least got it across the 50 and had a shot there, but that sack took them at a field goal range, and the punt pinned us pretty deep in our own end here, but just one play is all it takes from Scotty Mitchell to completely open things up here in the Sugar Bowl. So we're going to cut to the end of the first quarter here. Another opportunity on offense for the Crimson Tide, and Tim Lewis takes a shot to the side of the field, and it's Thomas Samples who brings that one down and gets brought down at about the 2-yard line. That's going to be the last play of the first quarter. So 2 huge chunk plays already kind of setting us up here for some pointage. So Miami's defense did come out swinging pretty well in that first quarter, holding our offense to just 7 points here. But, just entering the second quarter, we're probably going to add some more here. So on 2nd and goal here, we're going to hand this one off to Lamont Farrell, and he's going to finish things off here and get us another touchdown. So we're going to take a 14-0 lead over the Hurricanes here early enough in this game. But, that doesn't mean much of anything against the Hurricanes. They have a really decent offense. Even look at the roster. They have a lot of high-ranking guys, but offense has really been struggling against our defense early in this game. Tim Lewis, once again, another deep shot, finds Scotty Mitchell, who hauls that one in here. Kind of a hospital pass. Could have gotten his head taken off. I mean, it kind of did, but he is all right. So, and he makes the catch here, and more importantly, holds onto the ball. So, cut to a 3rd and 6, though, as Miami's defense finally showing some resilience. And pressure's on to Tim Lewis. They sent 2. One of them got picked up, but the other one did not. So Tim Lewis ends up trying to run from it, but has nowhere to go. So on a 4th and 16, we're going to bring out John Bellamy, the kicker, and he's going to knock home this field goal, hopefully, and he does. So the kick is good, and so our lead's going to extend to 17-0 over the Hurricanes, and they desperately need some offense now on their end if they want to, keep up with us here. But late in the second quarter, Miami's still struggling here. We're going to fake the pitch and then fire it the other side to Chad Whitaker, getting his name called for the first time today, and he's going to get brought down inside the Miami 35. So once again, it's looking like we might be able to add some more points here before the first half concludes. So cut to a 2nd and 10 now. Tim Lewis alone in the backfield, and pressure's on, so he just decides to run it, keep it himself, and he finds some open space up in the middle of the field, and they weren't spying him because I guess they blitzed. So Tim Lewis was able to get the first down a little bit more here with his legs. So love that about having Tim Lewis, man. We won't have him for very much longer, but I love that about him. So Next player, Tim Lewis, fires this one off over, I believe, to Chad Whitaker again. It looks like, Chad Whitaker again, who caught it at about the sticks. They did give it to him. So, cut to a second goal here, just under 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Tim Lewis dropping back again here, flips one out to the corner of the end zone, and it is the tight end Sean Watts, man, who's in a perfect spot here. A great ball by Tim Lewis, and just great effort by Sean Watts to be that open, man. He had a lot of guys in the vicinity. I guess Miami was probably playing zone and had all their guys in that zone trying to collapse on Sean Watts because they just completely let the tight end get free. So cut to a 3rd and 1, and Miami's going to be able to pick it up here with their fullback, Terrell Giles, I guess it probably is. And so they're going to try and run the hurry up here as time is ticking away here. Just under 30 seconds left for the Hurricanes to get something going here. They're down 24 points here in the first half. They got to get anything going if at all possible. So Babcock drops back here, fires it off to the left side of the field, and that one is going to be caught by number 85. I don't have 85 written down. I think it's their backup tight end because their starting tight end. That is not, Jacobs. That's their backup tight end. So, but they're going to run the hurry up here, and the ref is taking forever to get the ball set here. But the chains are set, and Miami is letting time ticking away. They're going to get down to just about one play if they don't snap the ball here pretty soon. And I think they're going to run a man in motion. They are even taking more time. So last play of the half, essentially, Babcock dropping back here. Pressure is picked up. He flips this one out over towards the sideline, and with 1 second to spare, they're going to blow a timeout and bring out the field goal unit here. They would have snapped it on time. They probably would have had another play to at least get into the end zone for the touchdown. But Isaiah Pugh, the starting tight end, was able to make that catch to get him inside the 5 with just 1 second to spare. So Miami does finally get some points on the board. Not a whole lot here, just kind of pissing in the wind, but 3 points. If you can't get points, you'll take them where you can get them, I guess. So in the second half here, Tim Lewis finally going to give us a trademark turnover. He does it, man. For every great thing I can say about him, he does something like this. But this one actually at least seems like a real interception where like Tim Lewis just didn't see the pressure, or he thought that the safety wouldn't be able to collapse on that route. Still a dangerous throw. Like you'd have to be that guy to make that throw, and Tim Lewis definitely was not that guy on that throw. So. And Miami's finally moving the other way here. That looked like another completion to Isaiah Pugh, the tight end. He's a senior for Miami. It looks like that was another completion for him up the seam here. It might not have been. It might have just been a regular receiver. But on 1st and 10 here, Miami's going to go with some trickery here, and it's now a throw to the quarterback, Babcock, who gets the first down, and he is going to be brought down, and that is John Owens, the junior, who completed that throw here. So it was some trickery here between, we normally see those kind of hook and ladder type of plays here. These reversal kind of fake throws, but it finally works against us as Miami's able to pull it off and get a first down and get brought down at about the 10-yard line. So, but moving backwards now in a 2nd and 15, Babcock makes a throws an absolute dot, man. Throws an absolute dot to Terrence Kent, the senior. He's a senior. That's the thing about Miami, too. They have a lot of older guys, a lot of juniors and seniors on their team. So we might see a little bit of turnover with the Hurricanes in the next year or so, but they've recruited well every single year, so I don't think it's going to happen. But Miami finally does answer back, and now it's only a 14-point game. We got to score some points here to apply the pressure onto the Hurricanes. Tim Lewis deep shot downfield, and it's Scotty Mitchell once again, man. We haven't seen a lot of Scotty Mitchell in the last few weeks of the season, but he is really getting off here on the Hurricanes. They do not have enough DBs to cover all of our great receivers. So cut to a 3rd and 7. Miami's defense applying the pressure here. Tim Lewis has to roll out of the pocket and on the run makes a throw into an entire mess of traffic. Thank God all those defenders were trying to get a hand on the ball rather than catch it, because that for sure should have been an interception. But bring out John Bellamy again on a 4th down, knock home another short field goal, and he does just that. So that's going to extend our lead up to 17. And once again, it hasn't been a 17-point lead since a little bit earlier in the first half, but we are back up to a 17-point lead over the Hurricanes. But Miami move once again here in a 2nd and 2. It's going to be a pitch to the running back we haven't called on a lot today, but it's Ashton Medley, not Ashton Janty. I guess it's Ashton Janty before Ashton Janty, but Ashton Medley for the Hurricanes picks up a first down and a little bit more with a fancy little spin move, trying to get himself some more yardage. But we haven't seen a whole lot of him today here, and that's good on our defense that they've been able to limit him a bit. So cut to a 3rd and 12, and Babcock makes an awkward throw over the middle of the line of scrimmage here. And it's Damon Orr who makes the catch here. So all of Miami's top 3 receivers have checked into this game here at least to some point so far. But that's going to end the third quarter, or 17-point lead is going to hold unless Miami can kind of explode with some points in the fourth quarter. We haven't really seen it, but they are about to score. So Babcock's going to hand this one off to Terrence Giles, the fullback, and he's going to fall forward into the end zone for a Hurricane touchdown. So Miami does finally answer back to us with a touchdown, another touchdown. So it's only a 10-point game. So if Miami can get the ball back and get some points, we could have ourselves in a bit of a pickle here. And Tim Lewis flips this one off to Sean Watts, the tight end, and picks up the first down, I believe. He got close to it. I believe he might have got it. He might have been short, and he was. So 4th and 1, going to keep the offense on the field. Sick Navy wants to try and win this one on offense and kill more time off the clock here. We can't afford to give Miami the ball with close to 5 minutes left in the game. So because that first down, we were able to get it underneath 3 minutes now. And on another 3rd and short, we're going to hand this one off to Nate Allen, the fullback, who picks up the first down here, and we're going to be able to kill even more time off of this clock. So if you were paying attention to the time when Miami scored, man, we were killing like 6 minutes off of this game clock right now. And on a 3rd and 9, Lamont Farrell's going to get brought down short of the stick. So on 4th and 3, Sick Nabin, I don't think he's feeling that rebellious in this one. So we're going to bring out John Bellamy here. Doesn't really make a ton of a difference here. It's still going to be a 2-possession game here for Miami. They can still take the lead with 2 touchdowns, but they of course have to score 2 touchdowns in a minute 36, and I'm not holding out a ton of hope as it's taken them the entire game just to get the 17 points that they do have, but it is possible. But on 4th and 10, Miami's basically staring down the end of the game if they can't get this first down. Babcock fires it off, and that one sails over the receiver here. There was also plenty of Crimson Tide players in the vicinity, so I don't even know if that could have been completed if it was a good pass. So that is going to do it for the Sugar Bowl. We're going to add another field goal because of field position. We were able to drive it a couple more yards and get another field goal for John Bellamy to pad some stats here in year number 1, or I think his freshman year. And so 33-17 is your score. We beat Miami, win another bowl game in convincing fashion. So add that to the tally here against Nick Saban here, because of course that is the goal of this series, to try and have a better rap sheet than Nick Saban when everything is all said and done. So, but we got to start winning more natties. Can't afford these losses during the season. But we're of course focus on that later on. But looking at the stat buildup here, Miami did play pretty competitively statistically. I mean, it's a lot closer than maybe the score implies. And we were also both equally kind of bad on 3rd down. It was kind of the situation here. A couple more trips to the red zone, but that's really it. We even had the turnover in this game. We lose the turnover battle, but Miami, man, just not able to capitalize on any of their opportunities, I guess. I mean, that was really kind of the difference maker. Tim Lewis has a pretty decent game here, and he is a junior, so he should come back. He might leave early, graduate early. Quarterbacks typically do in this game, especially when they're as good as Tim Lewis is, so we might lose him this year, but we do have a lot of depth at the position, so I'm not entirely worried. But Scotty Mitchell, of course, leading the charge as a sophomore in our receiving corps, so there's a lot of guys that we're keeping. I think our offense is still relatively young, so a lot of them shouldn't leave, but our defense has a lot of seniors, so we'll probably lose a lot on defense, and that'll be the biggest thing to look towards. But here is our Sugar Bowl trophy. We do win another Sugar Bowl. I think we won the Sugar Bowl last year to win the national title against Nebraska, but this year it wasn't for it. So, but just after the 1-year evaluation, Alabama's going to extend us another contract extension. I think we just signed one last year, but after this season, they're like, hey man, you're doing really good. We're going to extend it for another 6 years. So good on you, Alabama, because you made the right decision. So in the next video, we're going to cover the offseason and look ahead to year number 7.